Good afternoon, everyone. It is so wonderful to see you. My name is Sherry Shanks, and I am the Executive Director of the Lincoln Bike Kitchen. Thank you for coming and being in our space. We're very excited to be here. Our mission is to transform lives by making cycling accessible to everyone. And so that's what we do here at the Bike Kitchen. We take in used bikes, we fix them, and we distribute them to people in need in the community. So many of you are part of our mission, and we thank you for all the support that you've given us. Right now, the Bike Kitchen has just continued to grow. And last year, we had 1,600 bicycles distributed in the community. It's the highest we've ever been. So to give you a little context where we're at, as of May 1st, we were 40% ahead of where we are from last year. And I'll tell you what, it is just like wildfire, and we love it. Our biggest challenge is we need 20-inch bicycles, so I got to put that plug out there. Kids' bikes, we're down 90 requests as of today. So we keep working at it, but we are so grateful to have our partners here with the Community Health Endowment. They have been such great support, and they're one of the big reasons we are in this facility today. So I would like to introduce Blake. Come up next. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm Blake Anderson, and I serve as the treasurer on the Board of Trustees for the Community Health Endowment. I've also had the honor of serving on the Youth, Fitness, Sports, and Opportunity Task Force over the last 9 months. Growing up in Lincoln, I was lucky enough to participate in many youth sports activities, from the small fry basketball courts at the Salvation Army to the YMCA soccer fields. Now, as a parent of kids involved in dance, hockey, flag football, and various other activities, I've been able to see the many benefits that youth, fitness, and sports can create. Kids get to learn and develop good, active habits. They set goals, overcome challenges, and celebrate successes. Sports can develop teamwork skills and understanding what it means to be a good teammate. I've also been able to observe the challenges and barriers that continue to exist in getting kids active. Things like finding places and spaces to play and practice, getting and keeping coaches, volunteers, and referees to help run these organizations, affordability between registration fees, equipment, and transportation. It creates significant barriers to both initial participation as well as ongoing involvement. Then there are all the other activities competing for kids' time and attention, notably the challenges around screens and devices. Although I represented the Board of Trustees on this committee, understanding all these benefits and challenges as a parent is really what brought me to this work. In 2022, the Community Health Endowment released updated Place Matters data that showed something that we couldn't ignore. Youth aerobic fitness in Lincoln was not only declining, but also unequally distributed across our community. Fewer than 70% of Lincoln youth were passing the PACER test, a marker of aerobic health, and we knew we could do better. CHE issued a call to action, and from that, the Youth, Fitness, Sports, and Opportunity Task Force was formed. More than 30 individuals answered the call, representing Lincoln Public Schools, the city, Bryan Health, nonprofits, businesses, funders, coaches, and the youth themselves. What I appreciated most about this group was how action-focused it was. We didn't just talk about what the problem was, we asked, what can we do about it? What are the real practical steps we can take, all of us, to make sure every child in Lincoln has access to a variety of sports and fitness opportunities? Out of this work came 5 task force recommendations to the Lincoln community that we are excited to share today. They are based on data, yes, but also lived experience, community feedback, and cross-sector collaboration. They call on all of us in the community to think differently, invest boldly, and work together to create a more active and inclusive Lincoln. This won't be an easy fix, but we believe that taking this challenge on is a necessary and exciting step in making Lincoln the healthiest city in the nation. On behalf of the CHE Board of Trustees, I want to thank everyone who contributed to this work, as well as those who will help bring it to life. Let's keep moving forward together. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm J.J. Yos, and I'm the Assistant Director for Lincoln Parks and Recreation. Excuse me. I've also had the honor of serving on the Youth Fitness, Sports, and Opportunity Steering Committee and a part of the task force that put a lot of thought and a lot of effort into the creation of these recommendations. The task force firmly believes that Lincoln can be a place where everyone, including young people throughout the community, have the opportunity to be active, healthy, and included. One of the things that stood out for me throughout this process was the passion and the excitement to serve the youth of Lincoln that each of the task force members brought to the table. I've had the privilege of working for the Lincoln Parks and Recreation Department for a very long time, and thus have a front row seat to so many good things happening across the community, both recreational facilities and fitness programming. This job's given me the opportunity to see how movement and activities connect people and places, how a trail, a park, or perhaps a youth program can become the heartbeat of a neighborhood. The good news is that Lincoln already has a strong foundation. We have great partners, both public and nonprofit allied organizations. We have good, talented people throughout those agencies and organizations, and we are a community that values the health and well-being of its young people. So this report doesn't start from scratch. It builds on that momentum. It offers a clear, community-informed roadmap to take what's working and expand it, to fill in the gaps with purpose, and to collaborate across systems that lift everyone. No doubt there are barriers, whether it's cost, location, or limited awareness, but we also know that when we work collectively and pull together, we can make real progress. I'm hopeful these recommendations create a path to making improvements, to making a difference. I'm pleased to have been part of the task force, and I want to take this opportunity to thank community members who contributed their voices. And I also want to thank the Community Health Endowment for their leadership and their vision. Lincoln Parks and Recreation is always on the move to be part of making a difference in a healthier, more active community. And we hold a strong belief in Lincoln's youth. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Good afternoon. My name is Karen, Doctor. Ooh, look at me. Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Karen Cassabaum. I serve as the Global Inclusion Lead at Huddle. On behalf of the steering committee, I'm honored to share the 5 key recommendations developed by the Youth Fitness, Sports, and Opportunity Task Force. I also have the opportunity to serve as one of the tri-chairs of this effort. This work has been deeply meaningful to me personally and professionally. At Huddle, we think a lot about movement. We think about competition, teamwork, and how technology can support athletes and coaches to give every athlete the shot that they deserve. This process reminded me again and again that movement and access doesn't just belong to athletes, it belongs to everyone. It's up to us to create conditions where everyone has the chance to move and grow and thrive, to be included in the community programs that helps individuals physically, emotionally, and socially. That's what this report is all about, and that's why we didn't stop with data. We built action. We also recognize something important. We're not starting from scratch, which JJ mentioned. Lincoln already has incredible momentum when it comes to youth fitness and opportunity. Programs like Lincoln Bike Kitchen, where we are today, Bikes for Families, Community Learning Center Leagues, the Malone Center. They're offering free accessible sports teams or team sports. The YMCA, city pools, we were talking about that earlier. City pools teach students and kids how to swim. Our public parks and trails give families safe, welcoming space to be active. And through LPS, they have direct access to thousands of children and families every day through physical education. This report builds on that momentum. So together we developed 5 key recommendations for Lincoln. So let's start with 1. One is we need to create a backbone organization which will serve as a central body to coordinate efforts, secure funding, and measure impact. The backbone organization hasn't yet been identified. 2, expand fitness opportunities in schools and early childhood, starting young and supporting movement from the ground up. 3, increase community-based fitness access through things like equipment banks, neighborhood events, and local programs. 4, promote physical activity through health providers, one of my favorites, encouraging doctors and clinicians to prescribe movement and connect families to resources. 5, improve access to public facilities, especially by revisiting policies between the city and LPS to make sure everyone has fair access to fitness space. These aren't dreams. They're achievable, community-driven actions. And they reflect what we've heard over and over again about Lincoln. Lincoln wants to do better for its youth, and we can. But we need your help to turn these recommendations into reality. So here's what you all can do right now. You can visit the website at www.youthfitnesslincoln.org to read the full report, so you're educated. Reach out if you or your organization wants to be a part of the next phase of this awesome work. And if you're able, please consider sharing to support this vision. Every contribution helps us move closer to Lincoln, where all youth can thrive through movement. Thank you to CHE and my passion partners, the Tri-Chairs, the full task force who spread throughout this whole room, and the youth who shared their voices, and to all of you for being a part of this. This is how change begins, with listening, collaboration, and action. Let's make this momentum continue for this generation and the next. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ellie Eckman, and I am a student athlete at Lincoln Southwest High School. I play volleyball for school and club, and I participate in show choir at school. I served on the Youth Fitness, Sports, and Opportunity Task Force. I was interested in joining the task force because I love being active and want everyone who is interested to participate in athletics to have the opportunity. I also wanted to be a part of the task force because I believe that the topic is one that needs attention and needs to be worked towards. I also hoped that I could help by bringing a youth perspective. Through my participation in the task force, I learned more about the issues that our community faces in youth fitness, was able to gain more perspective about those obstacles, and also learned what solutions could address them. By being on the task force, I've been able to work with many people who all share a passion for the physical well-being of youth, and who all want to make a difference to help better the future of Lincoln. While I have narrowed my focus to volleyball, I have participated in many sports throughout my childhood, including basketball, soccer, tennis, and more. Being involved in these fitness activities throughout my life has had many benefits. I have been able to build strong relationships with my teammates and made new friends. I have been able to stay healthy and fit through my participation in sports and show choir, and I've also been able to just have fun. Sports and physical activity have been a huge part of my life, and I've had a large influence on who I am today. Personally, I know that I have not faced as many barriers as others, but I can still recognize that there are many obstacles that may prevent people from participating in sports or being physically active in general. Some of these barriers include the financial cost of being on a team, especially if they are participating on a club team, as well as the difficulty of finding the space or equipment needed for a sport or activity. Solutions need to be implemented so that the number of barriers are reduced, which can allow for more of the youth in our city to stay physically fit and active. That's why I think this work is so important. The recommendations in this report aren't just about increasing physical activity. They're about creating real, lasting change. They challenge us to remove the barriers that leave some kids out, to support youth in ways that strengthen both physical and mental health, and to reimagine what movement looks like across our city. These ideas call on us to make fitness more inclusive and accessible and meaningful for every young person in every neighborhood. Because movement doesn't just build strength, it builds confidence, connection, and community. Being on the task force gave me a voice, and it showed me how many adults in this city are really listening. It gave me hope that Lincoln can be a place where every kid, no matter where they live or what their family can afford, can grow up with opportunities to move, to be included, and to thrive. I'm proud of the work we've done, and I hope these recommendations lead to real change, not just for my generation, but for every young person growing up in Lincoln. Thank you.
I'm Kate Bowles. I'm the president and CEO of the Community Health Endowment. That concludes our prepared remarks, but I'd love it if you'd give this team a hand. And we're happy to take your questions if you have any.
Do you know how many times a year students take do the PACER test?
Matt?
So it's required.
Jump in.
So aerobic fitness testing in Lincoln Public Schools anyway is required once annually, but typically schools will take it both in the fall and in the spring. The one that we use to measure for our Place Matters mapping always takes place in the first quarter of every school year.
Do you want to share your name, Matt?
Sure. Yeah. I'm Matt Avey. I'm the curriculum specialist for health and physical education with Lincoln Public Schools. Should have led with that. Sorry about that.
Okay. That's our playbook. We hope you run with it. Thanks for coming.